Hello, welcome to this video about the SMARTALK configuration and startup. As you know, SMARTALK is a service for high-quality audio contribution to EQ audio codecs from anywhere. In this video, we will explain the steps to follow from the moment we receive the welcome email to configure our audio codecs to operate with the SMARTALK. At the end, we will perform a small demonstration of its operation. Well, the first step we must follow is to locate the welcome emails, which include all the information we need to start. Now we must open our email client. Here we can see the two welcome emails. The one that is more interesting to us has the subject SMARTALK First Steps. We open it and we will see a lot of information in it. First, we need to define our password to enter the system. Here we need to enter our password twice. Apply with the change button, and now we can log in by entering the email where we received the welcome messages and the password we just defined. We log in, and from now on we can administrate our system. Here we have a representation of the codec we have booked, in this case with two channels, and notice that initially both of them appear as unavailable. This is because the codec in our office hasn't been configured to work with the SMARTALK yet. So, next step is to use EQ configuration tool Control Phoenix to define the required parameters to work with the SMARTALK. Then we need to open Control Phoenix to configure the codec. We open the tool, and here we have a Venus 4 we are going to use for this service. As you can see, currently both channels are configured in RTP, which is not the required mode to work with the SMARTALK, that works in SIP mode. In order to change this, go to the general configuration and change to SIP mode in both channels. Then go to IF Setup, SIP Parameters, and then click on Advanced to see all the parameters. As you can see, here we have a set of default values. We have nothing to do with the SMARTALK related credentials. We need to change them to what we need. In order to get to these parameters, we need to go back to SMARTALK webpage. Click on Administration, Codecs section, and then click on the eye icon that gives us access to all the required information. At the top we have this field that defines the server to use, and then below we have the parameters related to channel 1 and to channel 2, both the user and passwords. In order to copy the parameters, use the copy icon. We'll start with channel 1 credentials. Click on the copy icon, and in Control Phoenix right click and select paste to insert the value into these three fields. Now do the same with the password. Next field is the realm. This field is the SIP server, which we can also copy. Next, we need to define the SIP server or provider. Click on the Manage Providers button, and then on New Provider. Here, we can provide a custom name for it like SMARTALK, and in the host and domain fields, we should paste the value you just copied, using right-click and paste. It's also very important to check that the SIP interface field contains the proper interface we are using to provide internet to the device. In this example, we are using Ethernet 2 port. Next, we add it, and we have the new server ready. It's very important to ensure that the credentials are correct before we switch the new proxy provider in order to avoid security logs. Once we have checked, we can select the new server and apply. If everything went OK, the channel we change from registering to OK. Well, now we have to repeat the steps for the second channel. And now with the password. The last part is the server, which is the same one. Remember that we need to double check the parameters before switching to the new provider, which we don't need to create again as we defined it before. Select, apply, and the channel should change to OK. At this point, the codec is registered to operate in SMARTALK and we only need to configure some more settings. In order to perform these settings, go back to General Config and do this for each channel. First, in Advanced, check the Auto Answer box and also make sure that the Auto Hang Up is also active. This will ensure that calls are automatically terminated if there is any trouble. Now do the same for channel 2. Now go to IF Setup and make sure that this value is set to off. Apply and do the same for the second channel. Now the codec is completely ready to operate with SMARTALK. In order to check that the system works perfect, we can do a test. Go to the SMARTALK web again. Close this and go to Guests, where we can create a new guest. There is a default one, but we can create a new one, named, for example, Guest. Leave the values by default as this is only a test. Accept, and note that we now have a link we can send by internet as well as a QR code that we can scan with our mobile phone. Once we have scanned the QR code in our mobile phone, see that we are prompted for an authorization to use the microphone, which we need to accept. Next, close the web administration and go to the operation section. In the mobile phone, once we click on Click to Start, the guest name should appear in the list. From now on, we can drag the name to a free channel and the call should initiate. See that the call is automatically established. At this point, we are already sending and receiving high-quality audio. In order to hang up the call, we can close the phone browser or in a SMARTALK web page, click on the red button. Well, the system is now configured and tested. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact AQ Technical Service. Thanks a lot for your attention.